Hey, what's going on, enthusiasts? My name is Drew. Welcome back to the PC Planet podcast. In the virtual studio today, we have Corey.
How's it going, everyone? Corey here. I'm the admin for the Southern Colorado Computer Enthusiast Facebook group. Hit us up. Check us out. We're awesome. We got 740 members and climbing rapidly. If you're the kind of person that hates scalping and tries to find good deals and doesn't like when people laugh at you when you try to sell something, this is the place. Check us out.
Yes, sir. Check us out, sccetech.net/Facebook for the Facebook group. We have a couple, several things on the docket today. But first, a giveaway. We have an 8. Well, not we actually. TweakTown.
Yeah, not our giveaway.
Not our giveaway. We don't have $2,000 to spend on a giveaway yet. But
Yet.
TweakTown certainly does. TweakTown's got a Sabrent Rocket 4 Plus 8 terabyte NVMe Gen 4 solid state drive that would
rocking at 7 gigabit per second read speed.
Yes,
7.
sir. Yes, sir. And normally this drive would cost you around $1,500, $1,499. You can get one for free.
Bear in mind. Go ahead.
No, if you're, I think you're about to say it is a full size M.2 2280 or whatever it is.
Well, I was actually going to say they are reporting that this M.2 does require you to have a PCIe 4 compatible motherboard.
Yes.
So if you're rocking a B450 or a B350, you can get the card, but you may not be able to use it.
That is true. But if you got a newer system and you got PCI Express 4.0 and you want an 8 terabyte Sabrent Rocket 4
because because reasons. I mean, 8 terabyte M.2, that ought to handle like what, 2 or 3 updates of Modern Warfare?
Yeah, right. You run a couple of copies of Warfare, that's about it. Giveaway runs from the 5th, so a few days ago it started until the 13th at 3 p.m. GMT plus 10. Make sure you go over to the link in the video description to enter into that giveaway. It's pretty easy. You just have to like their pages, like Sabrent's Facebook page, subscribe to the newsletter, comment on the post at Facebook. Pretty standard stuff for giveaway, and hope you win, or hope I win.
Hope I win too.
Yeah, I hope somebody wins.
Oh, somebody will win.
I hope somebody I know wins.
And of course, the cynical part of me is like, yeah, they'll probably just win it and then sell it, bastards.
I mean, I'm not gonna deny that it wouldn't be tempting, but I'm also not gonna deny that I really want an 8 terabyte solid state drive.
I'll be honest, I would love an 8 terabyte drive.
I would
let's
use
be
the
honest.
shit out of that drive.
Well, to be fair, I already have 8 terabytes, so if I happen to win it, no offense, gas is like $5 a gallon.
That's fair.
That's
fair. That is fair. Yeah, so you don't really need another 8 terabytes, although you could use another 8 terabytes, I suppose.
I mean, to be fair, my M.2, my boot drive is 500 gig M.2, and I don't want to run 2 M.2s because my motherboard, if I run a second M.2, it decreases the speed of the second one from PCI 16 to PCI 8. So, I mean, I wouldn't, real world, I wouldn't really notice any kind of performance hit, but psychologically, I don't want to run 2 M.2 drives.
That's fair. So that is basically it for the giveaway. Let us know if you win. That would be kind of cool. Leave a comment down below.
Don't tell anyone your address.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Don't tell anyone your address.
Yeah, don't dox yourself. If you happen to win, leave a comment down below on the video. Let us know what you think of it. Let's see here. We've got some news on the Radeon 7000 series. Specifically the 7700 XT or Navi 33.
Rocking a 6 nanometer RDNA GPU.
Yep, and 8 gigs of GDDR6 instead of 12. We were talking about this earlier prior to the podcast, but it seems probably a cost-saving measure, and also you just don't really need 12 gigs for gaming.
Yeah, I mean, I've played Modern Warfare and I ramped it up to like 7.9 gigabytes of usage. And honestly, anything past that, I didn't really see a big difference in graphical fidelity. And in terms of like other games, like I'm replaying Skyrim right now, and I've replaced all of the textures with 4K and 8K textures rendered at 1440p, and I'm still hitting like 100 plus FPS. So, I mean, depending on like if you're playing City Skylines or something, maybe you could benefit from higher VRAM, but for normal gaming, 8 gigabytes will do you fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like if you're doing City Skylines at like 4K, I think 12 gigs probably would help. But other than that,
Yeah, or like Flight Sim 2020, you
yeah,
know.
Flight Sim, sure. Sure.
But aside from unless you have a specific use case that specifically requires you to have higher than 10 gigs, I mean 8 gigs will do you fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Even like if this 6700 XT that I have uh only had 8 gigs, I'm sure I would be fine. Uh
Oh yeah,
I didn't get it because it had 12 gigs. I got it because I wanted the 6700 XT and it just happened to have 12 gigs, which okay,
fair.
fair. And it also looks like the 7700 XT is going to have equal rasterization performance to the 6900 XT and faster ray tracing. Also, higher
Hmm.
power efficiency than NVIDIA Lovelace, around 200 watts for the 7700 XT, probably owing to the decrease in video RAM.
I'm curious to see how they're going to outperform Nvidia on ray tracing, considering Nvidia pioneered the real-time version
Well,
of ray
it's going to be
tracing.
faster in ray tracing than the 6900 XT,
Oh, okay.
but it will be higher efficiency than NVIDIA Lovelace. It'll just use less power.
See, that's where they kind of the wording on their article, because their article says
It's
faster in ray tracing and higher efficiency than NVIDIA Lovelace. That tells me that they're trying to say that it's faster ray tracing than NVIDIA Lovelace.
But then down below at the bullet points, it says ray tracing performance greater than RX 6900 XT.
Well, I
So
mean, for a
they did
7000
clarify.
series, we kind of expected that.
Although, yeah, that rasterization performance being greater than a 6900 XT, I'm looking forward to that. And
Navi
I'm going to,
33 GCD is expected to feature 2 shader engines. Each shader engine has 2 shader arrays, so 4 in total. Navi 33. All sources state that Navi 33 is a monolithic 6 nanometer die. Still curious how they're handling the quantum tunneling effect. Monolithic 6 nanometer die that was designed to bring Navi 21 performance to mid-range die sizes and BOM costs.
yeah, I think, yeah, I hope AMD knocks it out of the park because, I'm going to be honest, the 6000 series, don't get me wrong, I love my 6700 XT. It's great. I get super high frame rates in pretty much everything that I play. Well, literally in everything that I play. Doom 2016, I'm locked down at 200 FPS on Ultra at 1440p.
So you're actually hitting the engine limit.
I'm hitting the engine limit 100% of the time at 1440p. That's not bad.
Nice.
That's not bad. Um, and then I was actually playing some CS:GO earlier today. Uh, if I turn on RSR and put the game at 1080p, I was seeing frame rates of like almost 400.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
And I'll be
uh,
honest, I'm saying that this is supposed to exceed 6900 XT rasterization performance. That's kind of given me a mental callback to Nvidia launching the 3070, stating that it would be equal or exceeding the 2080 Ti.
yeah, yeah, it
I
does
mean, that's
sound
a
kind of
70
similar.
Yeah, I mean that's a 7700 that is their mid-range that's supposed to be beating out the prior generation top range. So definitely a callback to what Nvidia was stating over the 3070.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not totally unreasonable considering that the 6700 XT is markedly better than the 5700 XT,
Whoa, hold
which
up. Are they calling for PCIe 5?
probably.
PCIe 5.0 X8. Interestingly, most sources don't believe this will be a big issue if this ends up being correct. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be a big issue because PCI Express 4.0 is fast enough to where as long as they're running on all 16 lanes, there's not going to be any difference.
And again, to be fair, most people these days still aren't even saturating the PCIe 3 bandwidth. So,
That's true. That's true.
anyways, wow. Yeah, keep an eye out for it. Navi 33, 77,000 series RX cards. Definitely keep an eye out for this. This could be definitely good competition here.
Yeah, especially if they can come in at a reasonable price and stay at a reasonable price.
Well, the target MSRP from what I'm seeing here is $399 to $499.
For the 7700 XT, wow.
BOM cost for Navi 33 is comparable to Navi 22, if not lower. I believe the target MSRP is $399 to $499, and that is coming from Moore's Law is Dead on YouTube.
I'll take it. I will take it. You know what I won't take, though? Intel's Alchemist seemingly vanishing into thin air. Where are they? Who knows?
Yeah, what happened to that? Because as far as I know, they're saying that they're supposed to be in the U.S., but as far as I can tell, they're still only in South Korea.
Yeah, I guess they did clarify Intel did only launch in South Korea with the Samsung Galaxy Book 2, and it's like $2,000. I still haven't seen anything about their discrete card. Another thing is too is they're saying that a laptop with an Intel Art graphics card will be available for purchase by the end of Q2 2022. So that's like the end of June.
And honestly, with the way graphics cards prices, GPU pricing has been coming down lately, do you really think at this point anyone's gonna go for ARC?
Other than reviewers and people who just want to have the latest gear, like
Well,
me.
that's the thing. They're talking about Intel Arc at the second quarter of 2022, but Nvidia's talking about the 40 series, and we've already got pre-leaked specs for AMD's 7000 series. So it's like the latest and greatest is Arc going to come out prior to that? And if they're talking about the second quarter of 2022, that's only a couple months away. I can't see somebody dropping the money on an Arc GPU only to have to have the latest and greatest, only to have the 7000 series coming a month or two later.
Yeah, I could see somebody dropping the money on an Arc GPU if they are building a PC and they need a PC now and they for some reason don't want to go with AMD or Nvidia.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that Intel never advertised the Arc GPUs as being top of the line.
That's true.
So even somebody buying an Arc GPU, like Intel's not targeting the elitists here.
No.
They're targeting the people who just want a PC and they need a PC with a graphics card and they can't find a graphics card anywhere else. Okay, I'll go ahead and get an Arc.
Yeah, I think Intel's targeting people that just want to play games.
Yeah.
Simple as that. They just want to play games and just have a nice experience playing those games. They don't need super high refresh rates at 1440p or 4K. They just want to play their Call of Duty and their Fortnite, and that's fine.
Yeah. And hopefully they actually stick with that because as we all saw with Nvidia, we had people waiting like 2 years for a 3080 or a year and a half, year whatever for a 3080, and Nvidia's like, hey guys, We know that you're like the consumer, and we love you, but we like our shareholders more. So we understand that you want a 3080, but we're just gonna go ahead and give you a fuck you, and we're gonna start manufacturing a 3080 Ti on the same process. So
Yeah, they saw the money that was coming in from the higher end market, so they
hmm
decided to rebalance and refocus just on the high end market, and
Yep.
that's what led us to stupid products like the 3090 Ti,
Yeah. And
which
honestly, it's
we're
first
not
off,
going to
if you
go into the
if
3090 Ti today.
no, but I will say at like 3.5 inches in width on the both the EVGA FTW3 and the Zotac Amp Extreme Hollow. Good luck vertically mounting a quadruple slot card. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, unless you have a case that's as wide as my display, good luck with that.
Yeah, and also if you're thinking about getting a 3090 Ti, better hope you have something better than a 10900K that's well overclocked, because that 10900K will bottleneck that GPU. And
Yeah,
you might get 3080 performance out of it, 3080
or
Ti
worse.
performance out of it, or worse.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So, and
Um,
if you happen to get a 3090 Ti and you have an 11th gen or a 12th gen, tell us, let us know
yeah,
what your thoughts are. Let us know what your thoughts are on that.
let us know in the comments. What do you think about your fancy new 3090 Ti that you spent $2,000 on?
And let us know how it compares to what you had prior. So, like, if you're an elitist and you had a 3090 or a 3080 Ti prior to the 3090 Ti, let us know what the difference is. We're genuinely curious.
Yeah, I am actually curious about real world, the perceived difference, because I think oftentimes the perceived difference is more important than the actual difference.
For you car guys out there, we're looking for the good old butt dyno.
Yep, indeed.
So yeah, speaking of 12th gen Intel, Drew, did you see this thing? The 12900KS hits 7.45 gigahertz on liquid nitrogen.
I did see that, and I think that's absolutely nuts.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. 35% overclock on stock 1C 2T boost clocks.
That is just absolutely
Specifically,
wild.
it hit 7,450.62 megahertz.
That is, I mean,
To
I
be
was going to ask
fair, they
why,
only
but
had they only had one performance core activated to achieve
yeah,
this result, to be fair.
of course they did. Of course they did. You're not gonna hit 7 point whatever gigahertz on all cores.
Yeah, the highest it's rated at for all core boost is 5.2 gigahertz. Which is to be fair, that's still insane.
Yeah, that is actually insane. Well, that kind of reminds me, recently the latest clock tuner software for Ryzen 5000 is
hmm
actually able to push the 5600X up to 5 gigahertz.
Hmm, really?
Yeah, if you have the proper cooling for it and the motherboard that has proper VRMs, it is capable of pushing uh gold and platinum samples of the 5600X up to 5 gigahertz.
Well, I have a 5800X on a X570 Aorus Elite motherboard with a 240 mil AIO. I'm curious now. I'm curious.
Yeah, check out Clock Tuner and the new PX profile with Clock Tuner 2.1.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
Unfortunately,
even these
mine
days,
can't do it
five.
because I don't have the cooling for it. But
What kind of cooling you got?
well, I think it's not necessarily a cooling problem, it's more of a VRM problem. Because I just got, little Asus B550M, nothing special.
Okay,
But as far as cooling, I've got an MSI Mag 240R.
okay. Yeah, the X570 boards, they do have active cooling, Unfortunately, the active cooling is only on the south bridge. The north bridge still only has a standard heatsink.
Yeah, that's what mine
But
has. And I
still
suspect
though.
it's just not can't handle the power draw needed
Yeah.
for 5 gigahertz operation. But the fact that this chip can reach 5 gigahertz at all is just insane.
Speaking of, I wonder if in this article they put what the power draw was at 7.5 gigahertz. Yes, I'm rounding up, sue me.
Yeah, what is the power draw on that?
I don't see anything on the power draw in this article.
What I do know is that the 12900 KS, yeah, its max turbo frequency officially is 5.5 gigahertz,
Right.
and its maximum turbo power is 241 watts. So, being that they're only running on one P core, I
Hold
can't
up, real
imagine it
quick.
would be much higher.
Real quick, roll back. What was the TDP on that 12900?
The maximum turbo power is 241 watts on the KS.
241 watts of power. And the 3900, the 3090 Ti was getting bottlenecked by a 10900K overclocked. So, considering a 495 watt power draw on a 3090 Ti, it makes you wonder what kind of power supply you would need to be running for a 3090. At least 1,000 watts.
Oh, for sure.
3090 Ti, I mean, at least 1,000 watts.
Oh, easily.
But then again, if you're getting a 3090 Ti, you're probably gonna have a 1,000 watt power supply anyways.
That's true. Unless you're
Crazy
getting a
stuff.
Kingpin 3090 Ti, in which
Oh,
case
ugh.
you need
Yeah, I
like
saw that.
2,000 watts of power supply.
Yeah, that Kingpin card is insane.
Yeah. So back to the Intel, the 2900 KS being overclocked to 7.5 gigahertz or whatever it was. Being that they're only using one P core out of the available 8 and none of the E cores out of the available 8,
They're just going for numbers.
they're just going for numbers. And so I expect that the power draw, if it's higher than 241 watts, it's not much higher.
Yeah, because if they're only going one core, I mean, that's not going to take a whole lot of power.
No. Certainly not compared to all 16.
I can hear my baby trying to fight sleep as much as possible.
Oh, I hate that feeling.
Like, she's just sitting there.
Well, it's a good thing we only have one thing left here.
I got two. I got two
Okay,
things.
we do have two things.
Wait. Yes, two things.
We do have two things. One of them is the world's first 200 terabyte solid state drive is nearly here, but you probably can't buy it.
Yeah. Number one, it's going to be over $40,000.
Well, yeah, we know that for a fact because the 100 terabyte version is $40,000. So,
and also, it is in a 3.5-inch drive format rather than the standard SSD 2.5-inch. So there is that as well.
yeah, and that's because it is designed to directly replace the 3.5-inch enterprise drives that are already in production.
Yeah.
So they needed to make it that form factor to actually be able to replace those drives.
Right. And unfortunately, at this point, we don't know if it's coming with a SATA or SAS interface. We do know that the 100 terabyte version does come in either or. We do not know anything on that end about the 200 terabyte.
Yeah, and as far as pricing, no pricing yet, although based on the $40,000 price tag of the 100 terabyte extra drive, this is from Nimbus Data, by the way. Based on the $40,000 price tag, I would expect somewhere in the realm of $70,000.
Yeah, honestly, at the very least.
Yeah, obviously not designed for the consumer PC market, but damn, I wouldn't say no to putting one in my PC.
I wouldn't say no to putting two in my PC at RAID 0 and seeing what they could do. And I also would love to see the PCB on this card.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, it's gonna be super, super dense.
To that.
Sorry, children.
Honestly, sorry kids. I would totally 100% to 100
Yeah,
to a
that's
200 terabyte PCB.
especially two of them.
My wife is glaring at me. She's like, "What the are you talking about?"
Nothing. We are talking about
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. We're not talking
nothing.
about anything at all.
Oh, that's great. So what is it? What is that other thing that we have on the docket today?
How to make your own PS4 Linux distro.
Ah, yes.
Pop OS 21.1 running on PS4, Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay, up to 70 FPS.
Yeah. The PC. The keep in mind, this is the PC version of Cyberpunk 2077, running on
Correct.
Linux on the PS4,
Right.
and it gets better performance than the PS4 version of Cyberpunk.
Hey, bro, I heard you like emulators. How would you like an emulator for your emulator? Running inside an emulator in another emulator on a virtual machine.
It's so crazy because it's like, I mean, Linux runs natively on the PS4 because the PS4, it's not a PC, but it has PC-like architecture. It has, x86. It's got AMD, graphics. It's got AMD processor, AMD graphics. It's got normal, it's got unified RAM, which makes things a little bit weird. But otherwise, it's a PC-like architecture. But
they have been for a while. I mean, I had Windows XP running on my PS3.
Probably in an emulator because the PS3 was a PowerPC processor.
Yeah.
But yeah, the PS4 is it's x86 64. It runs Linux apparently.
It can run Linux.
Yeah, it can run Linux. The PS4, the official PS4 operating system is based on FreeBSD.
You will need a jailbreakable PS4 in order to do this, though.
Yes, you will. You will need a PS4 running, I believe, firmware 5.05.
Correct. And you can grab Pop OS for PS4. Just do a search for Noob 404.
Firmware 9.0 and lower can be jailbroken.
All right. And if you have something higher than that, you could always look at downgrading, because that's what I had to do for Windows XP.
You cannot downgrade a PS4.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Check this out.
The PS3s you could to a point. The PS4s you cannot downgrade.
It is possible to downgrade a PS4, however, it is very risky as Sony does not provide downgrades for their video game consoles, and you can only download the system from an off-market site. So it is possible, but you have to get it from a third party.
It's possible, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but to be fair, if you're trying to throw Linux on a PS4, I mean, do you really give a shit about your PS4 anyways?
I mean, yes, because you want to do whatever you want to do with your own hardware that you purchased.
Right, but you don't care about like Sony's warranty crap and all that. And I'm sure I haven't looked at it. I'm only coming from somebody who's jailbroken phones and stuff like that. But there's plenty of reputable sites where you can grab stuff from. Just be smart about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I always say. If you're going to be stupid, be smart about it.
Nice. I like that. I'm going to put that on MySpace.
Put that shit on a t-shirt.
I'm going to put that shit on Zanga.
Hey, your wife's got a cry cut. You could put that shit on a t-shirt.
It's true. Honey, Drew, he was just like, wait, you have a cry cut. You could totally put this on a t-shirt. If you're going to do something stupid, be smart about it.
Yeah, if you're going to be stupid, be smart.
Well, I think that is all that we have for today. Did you have anything else, Drew?
News-wise, no, but definitely go check out that giveaway at TweakTown.
Yes,
or the link
definitely.
down below. And as always, PC Planet is sponsored by the like button. So wherever the like button is on your screen, click it, tap it, smack it, whatever you have to do. Make sure it goes from blank to blue or red or whatever color it is when you press it. Hit that like button, get subscribed so you don't miss any future podcasts, and we will see you next week.
Have a good one, all.